In summer 2010, Pakistan suffered the worst floods in living memory. More than 1,750 people were killed. 20 million people were directly affected. Hundreds of thousands of animals drowned. An area the size of the UK was underwater. 2.4 million hectares of crops were destroyed. Agriculture was the sector hardest hit. %80 of flood-affected families depend on agriculture to make a living. With our partners, we responded rapidly, distributing wheat seeds, vegetable seeds and fertilizer in time for the winter planting season, as many families had lost their seed stocks along with everything else. Around 600,000 families have planted 1 acre of wheat, which should feed them for 6 months after the harvest in early summer. As we shift gear from relief to early recovery, the immediate challenge is to ensure that the international community continues to help Pakistan for the next 2 planting seasons, to give families a chance to lift themselves out of poverty and debt. The Swat Valley is an astonishingly beautiful part of northern Pakistan. The torrential monsoon rains roared into the rivers and cascaded down the mountains, taking away roads and bridges, destroying everything in their path. In Canberra's village, Narkela, there used to be around 600 animals, but she was the only person who managed to save hers, 2 cows and 2 goats. Livestock provide meat, milk and draft power, and often represent a family's life savings. Surviving animals are weak, and FAO has been distributing animal feed and deworming kits to almost 300,000 families to increase livestock survival during the critical winter period before fresh fodder becomes available. Canberra's son, Mohammed Zada, told how the family lost everything they had, including their future sources of food and income. Even his few chickens who survived the floods died soon after from disease.
Sindh da موج وهو چې دغه موج په وجه باندې هغې ډېره زیاته ترقي کوله او د پټو طرف ته چې راوختلو نو بیا د سیند په دې کناره چې کوم سیلاب راغلو د کورونه چې وو دا هم یې وړل ورسره زمونږ تیار فصل و چې هغې ته مونږ شولې وایو چاولو هغې نه به مونږ ته 2-3 لک روپۍ پیدا حاصلېدل هغه یې ورسره هم یې وړل.
Families here are resilient, but this area has been beaten down by an earthquake in 2005. Followed by fierce fighting and insecurity. Last year's floods were an unprecedented catastrophe.
The مونږ خو جی د مخکې زندګۍ نه وروسته سیلاب نه وروسته بالکل 0 پوینټ ته ورسول.
هغه غوجل د میاګانو هغه کې یو طرف ته ساوري دی یو طرف ته منګي.
FAO's early assistance has helped over 7 million men, women and children, but more needs to be done. The spring Kharif planting season is just around the corner. In northern Pakistan, the torrential rain and floods swept through quickly, but in the south, the floodwaters stayed, spreading destruction across the low-lying plains. In Sindh province, some areas are still underwater, and some people are still in camps. Many families here were suffering from malnutrition even before the floods, but now malnutrition rates have risen alarmingly. In Haji Siddiq Jat village, most of the 50 families have returned, but they and their surviving animals are in a terrible condition. This is one of the hottest parts of the country. Now in winter it's 28 degrees Celsius, and summer temperatures rise above 55 degrees. No one here has been able to plant yet. FAO has started cash for work schemes across the country to clear irrigation channels and restore water resources.
एक मर्तबा एक वेला खाता हूँ तो एक वाला यहीं खड़े रहते हैं. अभी सारे मसले हमारा जो है पानी का बिल्कुल बहुत मसला पानी का. अभी मैं जो ये सैलाब का पानी पी रहा हूँ.
Misri's wife Pachai has a daily struggle to feed their 7 children, and she is expecting another baby. there is an urgent need to help these families regain their livelihoods. This school was cut off by the floods for some months, but now the children are back. They sit on bare floors. Their chairs, desks, books and pencils were all swept away. No one from this school has ever gone to college, but every child has a dream.
मेरा नाम सायरा है और मैं बड़ी होकर डॉक्टर बनूंगी। मेरे बाप का नाम कुर्बान है, मैं बड़ा होकर इंजीनियर बनूंगा। मेरा नाम आबिद है, मैं क्रिकेटर थींगा।
This latest disaster has exceeded everyone's capacity to cope. Over 700,000 farming families are still in vital need of assistance, especially in Sindh province. Working together, we are able to build more resilient and sustainable agriculture. From planting cereal crops to growing vegetables to feeding animals, we are already helping around 900,000 families to produce food again. We can do more.